Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode review and breakdown for Doom Patrol Season 3. Of course, last week we got the premiere of Season 3 on HBO Max with the first 3 episodes of the season, which was just like a great way to kick off the season. All 3 episodes were so good. If you haven't already, check out my review and breakdown for those 3 episodes right now. But today, we are talking about the brand new episode, Episode 4 of Doom Patrol Season 3, Undead Patrol, which of course follows up after last week's episode where we had Dead Patrol, and now they're undead. So we deal with the zombie Doom Patrol in this episode, which was definitely a lot of fun. Of course, we progress our main storyline along as well a little bit. So we're going to be talking about all that and more in this video today. But guys, spoiler warning, if you've not yet seen Doom Patrol Season 3, Episode 4, Undead Patrol. So we start off the episode following up with that post-credit scene for the first episode, which I didn't even mention in my review and breakdown last week because I had no idea there even was a post-credit scene until like the next day after the episodes dropped. So, of course, in that post-credit scene, we saw Willoughby Kipling digging up Niles Calder's body and decapitating him and just taking his head. So now we have this episode starting off with him now having Niles' head in his possession, and he put like a speaker in his mouth or something and basically used some magic to give him the ability to speak. So you have Timothy Dalton voicing Niles Calder right here. The mouth doesn't move or anything, but you know, the voice is coming out of the head. And then we also get a cool moment where he summons Baphomet, of course, the unicorn that we were introduced to, I think, back in Season 1. So that was cool just for a quick moment. But this head, of course, is going to tie very heavily into the main storyline of this episode. Because meanwhile, we got the Doom Patrol meeting Madame Rouge. Because that was a cliffhanger at the end of Episode 3. Where Madame Rouge just showed up at Doom Manor. And everybody was like, who are you? And she didn't even know who she was either. So, of course, her whole plan was that the only thing she remembered was that she came here to find Niles Calder. Well, they inform her that Niles is dead. So then she's like, all right, well, what if I travel back in time 7 weeks? Because that's how she got here, was by time travel. But it turns out her machine is broken. So she sends Vic off to go start working on it because, he's part robot, so he should be able to figure that out. But then we get this nice moment between Vic and his father, Silas Stone, where he does reveal to him that there was indeed another way to save Vic, as was brought up in Episode 3 by Vic's mother when he met her in the afterlife, with synthetic skin, which obviously Vic definitely would have preferred, because then he wouldn't have been half robot looking. I mean, it would have been fake skin, but still, he would have looked normal, and he's pretty upset about this. But also throughout this episode, we see the Doom Patrol slowly and progressively turn into zombies. And I don't think they really, exactly explain how and why it happened. But I'm just assuming it's because of, they did explain it. Because it was from at the end of Episode 3 when Night Nurse vomited on them. That is now turning them into zombies. So I guess we also have to assume that meanwhile, the Dead Boy detectives are also off turning into zombies as well, but we never got to see that. So, the Doom Patrol start turning into zombies. Cliff does mention that, bet it's that crazy spider lady that threw up on us last episode. And then Willoughby Kipling arrives, and he's going to help him. Because then we get the reveal that Darren Jones has made his return. He's, of course, the guy that was in charge of the Bureau of Normalcy back in Season 1, that they defeated by unleashing the butts on him. And so he is returning. He has stolen Niles' head. And so they go to save the head. And I do love how Willoughby even had a cool little Solomon Grundy reference here. Because, of course, they're all zombies. And Solomon Grundy, of course, the Batman villain Solomon Grundy is a zombie. So that was a cool reference. And then the Doom Patrol confronts Darren. And this was where it got a little weird. Because he turned and transformed into a werebutt. So I guess that if you get eaten by one of the butts, then you become one. So that was pretty disturbing to see him transform into that. But then we just get this giant Doom Patrol versus the butts battle here. And then because the Doom Patrol are zombies, they say, just eat them. So then they start eating the butts, which was weird. Really weird and disgusting. But again, it's Doom Patrol, so what do you expect? And then by the end of it, the butts are gone, and then the zombies go and try to get Willoughby and Madame Rouge. So they're able to escape with Niles' head, and then Niles says that they need to cure the Doom Patrol, and the only way that they can do that, because apparently he's done some research on zombies in the past, the only way they can do that is by feeding him to the Doom Patrol. So he decides he's going to make that sacrifice. I mean, he's already dead, he's only a head now, so he decides, I'm going to let them eat me. So they get the Doom Patrol back to the Doom Manor, and they eat Niles. And it was such a, weird but also sentimental moment, because you had Niles, Jane was the first one that picked him up, and, I also love how throughout this episode there was, zombie talk, where it was, they were just making noises, but then had, a translation on screen. And she said, there's so many things I want to tell you, and then Niles just said, it's alright, I love you too, now eat me. And then he was just like, eat me. And then, oh boy, they did. They ripped his head apart. And, yeah, I don't know exactly, how this is gonna go from here, because, is there any way to bring back the chief, at all? Because, I mean, he already died in the first episode, but then he still came back as a head in this one, but now his head is gone, so I think this is the end of the chief. I don't really know for sure. Kind of sad, but I mean, he did go out sacrificing himself to save the Doom Patrol, and it was in a very weird Doom Patrol fashion, so I suppose it was fitting. And due to this, Jane is able to finally get some closure with the Chief's death, because she never got to say goodbye to him before he died, or have anything like that with closure. So she finally gets closure with the Chief. Cliff decides he's actually going to get some help online. I do love how earlier on in the episode he was on a Zoom call with some sort of doctor, and she was like, I don't got time to deal with your TikTok business, you crazy teens. It's like, no, he's an actual robot, but okay. And then Larry at the end of the episode is still throwing up. This is something he did at the beginning of the episode, but I just assumed it was part of his transformation into a zombie, but he's still throwing up. So maybe he is actually dying. I think he probably is, because now he doesn't have the negative spirit, so hopefully sometime he's able to reunite with the negative spirit and not die, because they kind of need each other. Then to end off the episode, we have some interesting stuff with Madame Rouge, because we get some reveals with her character. Previously in the episode, we saw that she found this movie reel about the Sisterhood of Dada. She started watching it, was super confused, because again, she has this whole amnesia thing going on. And then something I forgot to mention earlier is that she actually made a deal with Niles that if she makes sure that Niles gets eaten by the Doom Patrol, that he will set her up with some files on her, because Niles 100% knew who Madame Rouge was and wouldn't tell her, but he was like, if you make me do this sacrifice, then I'll let you know, and I'll give you these files and everything. So she's looking at these files, and it's basically saying that she's a terrible person, and it says something about she should be terminated immediately. So I'm not sure if that means that she was working with him at the Bureau of, I think it was Bureau of Oddities before it became the Bureau of Normalcy. So that's pretty interesting. But then she, like I said, she also has some connections to the Sisterhood of Dada. And in the last scene of this episode, when she's rewatching that reel of the Sisterhood of Dada, you see Rita in the background. Of course, this has been a big mystery, what is going on with Rita? Because you saw in episode 2 that Rita showed up. I mean, we thought it was Madame Rouge, because it was in Madame Rouge's time machine and in her outfit and everything, but it was looking like Rita, so it could have been Madame Rouge just morphed into Rita, or maybe it actually was Rita. We saw in the trailer that she's going to use that time machine at some point, so I don't know, things are getting pretty crazy there. That was a nice little reveal, but then we get a post-credit scene for this episode as well, and don't worry, I didn't miss it this time. I don't know if it's really setting up for anything in this episode, or if it's just, in this season, or if it's just for fun. But we do see a now zombie butt on their way to Cloverton. I'm not sure if that's Darren Jones or just some random butt, but it's out there, and we got now a zombie butt, which is probably even worse than the regular butts, which were already pretty bad. But yeah, guys, just another crazy episode of Doom Patrol. I mean, zombies and butts and zombie butts, that's just the kind of thing you're going to see on the show, but I love it so much. It's such a good episode, and again, I love how we're progressing that story slowly but surely with the whole Rita, Madame Rouge thing, like how are they connected, and the Sisterhood of Dada, which we know we're going to be introduced to more in depth next week's episode, so I'm really excited for that. But for now, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about Doom Patrol Season 3, Episode 4, Undead Patrol? And of course, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and